Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Flavia Tumusime Kabura, and what I want to create is a community of empowered and inspired people. People who make the most out of life with what you have to become the best that you can be. So if you haven't clicked subscribe, please do and join our community. Now, you might have noticed from last week that we're talking businesses. A lot of you spoke to me about money challenges and said, listen, we have side hustles because, at one point each of us either doesn't love our jobs or wants to just earn more money. And so you start a business, before you know it, your 9 to 5 is taking all the time and you're not paying attention to it. Or you just don't have the business savviness in you. I agree, I'm one of those who doesn't believe I'm actually meant to do business. If you remember last week, Paula said not everybody is meant to do business and not everyone is meant to do any business. If you missed that, go click that particular episode and watch. But for now, I'm going to share with you a powerful conversation I had with the Executive Director of the Federation of SMEs here in Uganda, Mr. John Walugembe. We also had two business owners, young ladies who started out their businesses at different phases and cycles of business. One is Natkunda Sandra Baliremwa, who owns Sandy's Juice Bar. And we also had from Nkwanzi Sense, the founder, Ruth Wimbawazi Birunji. Now, these young ladies had questions about how their businesses, first of all, have stagnated, where they are, what they can do to make them better. Things like cost, competition came up, and also what does it mean for your business to break even?
Well, she mentioned that she's still working from home, so she's definitely not paying rent. She's probably not paying for electricity, and so on. So the point is, when we're talking about break even, we are saying that business must pay for itself, including hard time. In business, we have what we call pay yourself first. Now, in life, people look out for their own interests first. Because if you have a business and you need to pay fees, you won't, because if you don't do that, it means you keep on going back and raiding the resources of your business. So you must be a salaried. If a business can afford to pay 100K, pick it. In that way, some of your costs, it kind of alleviates the challenges that you have personally with regard to finances.
So the first thing that I learned from our conversation is the fact that, well, it's an advantage for you to start a business based on your passion. I'll be honest, this is my business, yes, and it's my passion. I like to communicate, I like to create content, I'm a creative at heart. I've done this for a decade plus. So it comes, as others would say, easy to me to just do this. For example, Sandra, who makes juice, she said she just liked to do it.
Back then, my mom used to tell me to make juice, and I would make this sweet juice, even without sugar, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, and when visitors used to come, they would say, "Who made this juice? Who made this
Sandra.
juice?" It would be Sandra.
She started a business that revolves around her passion. This is a good starting point. The worst thing to do is to start a business primarily motivated by money. So because she has started a business based on her passion, she's also willing to accommodate losses.
How do you say this is how much I charge for my service? Do you quantify the hours? Yes. Do you say the energy and the effort? Yes. What does it take for you to do this job? That's value. So Mr. John Walugembe spoke about, how to figure out what your product or service costs. And I think that he made this point when he was helping out Sandra.
Based on her story, it's clear that she has a challenge with costing. Because costing revolves around trying to keep records of how much you've actually invested in making one glass of juice. So we normally talk about the unit cost. Because even if you went to the market and bought a whole bag of passion fruits,
Yes.
we don't care about the cost of the bag. We care about the cost that went into making this glass of juice. So the ability to know what your cost is and the ability to add what we call a markup. A markup is what would potentially be your profit. Say, okay, I've spent 100 shillings making this glass. On top of that 100, I want to add an additional 30, so that the client pays 130. Yes, it's a passion, but she's also very kind. See? She's also very kind. I'm not saying that in business you shouldn't be kind, but again, you should. That's why this, in some businesses you find you are my friend, but my business has no friends. So the ability to say, okay, I like these people, they can't afford my juice, it's fine. They can take alternatives.
Now, competition is very necessary. If you're one of those who runs away from competition, maybe in the workplace or in life, and especially in your business, come on, embrace competition. In fact, competition should be your best friend. I'm just saying. So, John made a comment and said that, the answer to competition is brand yourself, be unique, add value, stand out.
She needs to position herself. You see, sometimes the water we take, cold mineral water, is not different. It does not have scent, does not have what, but we have been told that we can pay 500 shillings, 1,000 shillings for a bottle, when we can get a jerry can of water at 200 shillings. So it's about how you position your juice, how you brand it, the benefit. Should be able to brand it and explain clearly what benefits people get from your juice. It will help with detoxing, it will help with high blood pressure, it will help with this. So that by the time someone takes your juice, they know what they are paying for.
Ruth Birungi Uwimbabazi from Nkwanzi Sense.
I always wanted to start a business. I knew I wanted it to be scented though. From the beginning, as a child, I knew maybe I would sell perfume or I'd make perfume or lotions or body care products that are scented, but I knew that it would be scented. That's what my niche was going to be.
So I think the ability to focus, and for her, the ability to focus on one thing and to have a certain direction that she's been thinking about over the long haul, I think that's very positive. So I'm just keen to learn. So how did you actually learn how to make the scented candles? Were you trained by someone? Did you go online? How did you acquire the skill?
So first of all, I went on Pinterest, because before figuring out how I was going to make the candles, I wanted the packaging to be top notch. I started following different candle brands and seeing what they do and what I like and what I don't like and how I could make mine different. I was very skeptical. Yes, I was extremely scared. Also because this isn't what I studied for. So the small fears of business: am I going to fail? Am I doing the right thing? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? And when I eventually made the perfect candle, there were stereotypes that I had to break through. I had to keep talking to people and explaining to them why Nkwanzi Sense.
So I think it really depends on the business. So there are businesses whose life cycles, kind of take a long time in this kind of phase. For instance, if you're starting a consulting business, it entails building a reputation, building contacts and things like that, which will take long. But for the candle business, I mean, anything between 2 to 3 years. The point is, you're trying to look at what is what product is the market willing to buy in practice, because you're rolling out different products and then you're assessing how they are doing on the actual market. Because people may say, yeah, we're willing to buy this, but in practice they don't buy it. Yeah. Then they say, oh, don't like this, but then that's why those are the products that are driving your sales. So after 2 years, you should be able to have a very clear understanding of what your products are, what people are willing to pay for, and probably start breaking even.
I think, first of all, there's first of all, like I told you, the fear of being a small business. One of the things I was wondering is, how do I come from being this? Let's say I'm working with homes and day-to-day people, to coming to working with hotels and lodges and, spas. That was one of the things I've been wondering how to.
If you want to go to the spas and so on, you might appreciate that actually the spa manager, when he goes online, he just goes on his own Facebook page.
Yes.
He's not going to look at your page, and he's definitely not going to use that page to get a supplier. So it means you have to go out there, talk to spa owners, ask them to taste, tell you what they think and things like that.
I think I've been working, and I think I know the product is good, but I think I've been way too comfortable. I'm comfortable not stretching, stretching far enough. So that's what I've gotten out of this. Because now I have to look outside my Ugandan market, my East African market, the African market, European market. Now I have to start looking at everyone.
True.
Well, thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe. That way you can get ding the bell that we're here every single Friday.